Hillary Clinton went after Donald Trump on the issue of taxes. Let's see what happened.
Well, I think that trade is an important issue. Of course, we are 5% of the world's population. We have to trade with the other 95%. And we need to have smart, fair trade deals. We also, though, need to have a tax system that rewards work and not just financial transactions. And the kind of plan that Donald has put forth would be trickle-down economics all over again. In fact, it would be the most extreme version, the biggest tax cuts for the top percent of the people in this country than we've ever had. I call it trumped up trickle-down, because that's exactly what it would be. That is not how we grow the economy. We just have a different view about what's best for growing the economy, how we make investments that will actually produce jobs and rising incomes.
So this is an area where it's not even close. Hillary Clinton is better when it comes to the policy substance. Now, at the beginning there, she alluded to trade. That's an area where Trump's rhetoric is far superior to Hillary. And this was just after, I think just before. Pretty sure it was just after, but I could be wrong. Trump kicked her ass on the issue of trade, and she was reeling. When you pivot to the issue of tax rates, there you're in Hillary's wheelhouse, and Donald Trump comes across like the buffoon that he is. So Trump's proposed tax rates are 12%, 25%, and 33%. Now, for those of you who don't know, the effective change that is from what we have right now is a net tax increase on the poor, a net tax increase on the middle class, and a net tax cut for the rich. So again, like Hillary said, this is trickle-down economics 101. Now, I think the phrase was not nearly as witty as she thinks it is when she says it's trumped up trickle-down. It's a little goofy, and I don't think that landed. But nonetheless, it's true that he's just recycling old garbage right-wing tax plans that we know are a disaster. I mean, it was this kind of economic system and these tax rates coupled with deregulation that led to the Great Depression, the stock market crash in the late 1920s, and it led to the Great Recession, the subprime mortgage crisis and the Great Recession. So she goes on also at a different point to say, look, man, we just had the experiment with George W. Bush, and it was a disaster. And then Obama came along, and he had to fix it through a variety of ways. And now you want to go right back to the thing that drove us into the fucking iceberg. That's crazy. Again, on that issue, she's right. Trump is right with his rhetoric on trade and, hey, crooked Hillary supported NAFTA and TPP, so on and so forth. This is an area where it's not even close. So what are Hillary's tax rates that are so better than Trump's 12%, 25%, and 33%? Again, a net tax cut for the rich and a tax increase for the middle class and the poor. Well, Hillary roughly keeps Obama's rates as they are, which are better. So it would be 39% top marginal rate. That's what Obama has right now, and he has lower rates for the middle class and the poor. And it would be plus a cap on itemized deductions. And the Buffett rule, which actually is a rule that progressives love. I know I love it. And the Buffett rule is the idea that you have people making $5 million or more, they have to pay a minimum of 30% in taxes. So in other words, even if they have all these deductions and these loopholes, they can get them all the way down to 14% or whatever the fuck it is. Okay, if they're just paying the capital gains rate, for example. No, you have to pay 30%. And the reason why it's called the Buffett rule is Warren Buffett issued a challenge to CEOs on Wall Street, and he said, I'll give you $1 million of my own money if you can prove that you pay a higher tax rate on the money you make than your fucking secretaries do who are making 60 grand a year or 80 grand a year. None of them could collect. You want to know why? All of these rich assholes were paying a lower tax rate than their fucking secretaries who made way less than they make. So the Buffett rule is we got to fix that. We can't have a regressive rate where you're richer and you're paying a lower rate. If you're richer, you got to be paying the higher rate. That's a progressive tax rate 101. Every modern nation on paper has that because it's the only thing that works. So Hillary actually is for the Buffett rule, and she's for a 4% surtax on people with incomes over $5 million. Again, that's a way to effectively even increase from the Obama rates. I agree with that completely. Bernie Sanders was better. He had a top marginal rate of 52%, but he ain't in the race anymore. It's between Donald Trump's recycled Reaganism and Hillary Clinton's much better, much more progressive rates. This is an area where she's right. But if I were her, I would have been even more aggressive about it. And honestly, I would have pulled a Trump on this issue. And I would have kept repeating trickle-down economics. You're for trickle-down economics. That's what brought us the Depression. That's what brought us the recession. You want to go right back to the failed policies. Trickle-down economics, trickle-down economics, trickle-down economics. Donald Trump is George W. Bush 2.0. Donald Trump is George W. Bush 2.0. I would have said it over and over and over and over. And then you make people do what? Some of them will look it up. Like I had to get the exact rates for the show today for you guys. And then they go, oh, yeah, look at that. You have Hillary's rates are much better. So this is an area where she did well, and this is where she started to turn around the debate. Now, again, at the beginning, Trump won. He won the first half. Hillary, I think, won the second half. So it was close overall, but this was the beginning of the turnaround for Hillary Clinton.